All right. It is another day. We've got some big news going on today. A little bit of a rebrand, actually, on certain things. I've been going through my main channel, cleaning up like old videos and stuff that doesn't matter. Like, I had like a car stereo install and just weird off the wall stuff, like some fitness videos and other weird stuff. Got rid of all that, really focusing on just Windows and Linux. And then on the secondary channel was actually like a place for live streams and other stuff. I've pretty much just unlisted or made them available for people to look at if they want. But the main thing is I'm going to be making technical videos over there. So Titus Tech Talk got rebranded to Chris Titus Technical. So I was going to have a couple things. And man, I have been so busy. I have some crazy stuff going on, which is going to be great. So let's see. I think I know
Yeah,
everything
well,
else. So,
the dude
Mathers, how's it going? Let's see. Let's pull up old chat. See how everybody's doing. Check in with everybody. Oh man, it's going so well. Dan, how's it going? Ooh, I tell you what. But all right, I got some really cool stuff. I got some new lighting. Thanks to Amaran, not a sponsor, but it's kind of a fortuitous happenings happening there. I ordered this giant like flat panel, which I thought was cool, called the Verge Max from Amaran. Apparently there's a mix-up in shipping because I ended up getting two. So thanks, Amara, for not sponsoring me and just giving me a free light. I appreciate you. So I'm feeling good. Getting a free $300 light. Hell yeah. It was great. I was like, this is awesome. So then my other like giant dome light I had, like, that was like, it was so large I couldn't get it pushed up against the wall enough. So I always had this shaded, like, ooh, we're in a dungeon kind of effect, like all the shadows on my face. That was not really on purpose. It was just that the light couldn't go back into the wall anymore. So then the fact they sent me two of these stupid flat panels, which they're fantastic flat panels, mind you. I was able to go, oh, look, I can actually light myself like a normal person now, and it's not like we're in a dungeon. Which, I mean, the old lighting was not bad. It had its like own little effect, but it was not an effect that I actually meant to create, which was kind of funny. It was kind of funny. I was like, hey, my wife was like, did you buy two giant lights? And I was like, no, I just bought one. You sure that's not just like the mesh net that goes over it? And she's like, no, this is a giant light sitting here. I'm like, oh, sweet. Pretty cool. Oh, replacing the AC unit rocks. Rough. Oh, that sucks, man. I actually had a window AC unit in here for the longest time. Did you know the decibels on a Windows AC unit or window AC unit is roughly around 50 decibels? Quite high. I figured out back then that the Shure SM7B, sitting about 6 feet away from a window unit, can actually block most of all the background music. Little bit of treatment afterwards, but actually the microphone itself blocks that much. It's kind of insane. I know, man. I miss rambling on too. We've been doing better getting back into it. Oh, dude, I've been jamming this out. Check this out, Tech Zero. I meant to show you. Check out the Linux book. I have been just on a roll lately. So the Linux guide, I've the linksbook.com. And it's like a desktop guide, right? So anytime I fix anything in Linux, I just add it, either a chapter or expanded chapter. Now the server CLI is starting to get a little bit on the insane side, where I'm like, yeah, I might have to split this into two chapters. We're how many? Oh gosh, we need to look. How many words is just that chapter now? So every day, I watched this interview with Stephen King, obviously one of the most prolific writers of all time. And he said, I wake up, I write 2,000 words every day. Vacation, regular, he just does it. So I was like, dude, If Stephen King can do that, I can do half of what he can do. So I'm going to do 1,000 words a day. So essentially, that's what I've done. Yeah, so the server CLI is up to almost 3,500 words just in that chapter alone. But I've been slowly building this out, and I've dedicated to doing at least 1,000 words a day. And I wake up, or if I'm working on something, I'm like, time to expand the Linux book. So this is going to get kind of insane, probably pretty quick. But I've been trying to organize it a little bit, and it actually has been very helpful for, like, let's say, setting things up. And then I can kind of expand and kind of clean up as I go along. And it's been good. Like the other day, yesterday, actually, I was doing a lamp stack for a new project, which, you know, I don't want to sidetrack you guys too much, but this is what I do. It's called Your LS. Now, if you follow me for any extended period of time, you know how much I hate subscriptions. Like, subscriptions, awful. Just rebranded Frost products with a cool front end is essentially what all subscriptions that you subscribe to are. And some copyright laws, obviously, in there too, but, you know, that's neither here or there. Anyways, Your LS is essentially completely open source, and if you have a server, what you can do is you can toss this on here, and instead of going to, like, Bitly or, I don't know, all the extra URL shorteners out there that kind of suck, I wanted kind of something like this. Oh, so, I'm blind. Dark mode. Okay, sorry. All right, so your LS is kind of what I thought. And what you can do is you can make a shortened URL. So here, I'll link it in chat so you guys can play around with it too. So the book site is using MD Book for, it's a Rust-based project that has like a whole bunch of plugins that you can do cool shit with. So you can build like an HTML site, you can build EPUB, you can build PDF, you can build it all just with one. So I love Markdown. So that's what MD Book's made out of. So if you're familiar with Markdown, you're just going to take to it like a fish to water. Cool thing with this is I can host everything through the website, but then I can, once it becomes more feature rich and feature complete, I'll probably be able to actually submit it directly to like Amazon. I actually am already a published author with Amazon KDP, I think it is, which is direct publishing. And I think I get like a 70% commission through Amazon when I sell through them. So I'll probably sell through Amazon and then also like my site, chrisctt.com. But the cool thing is, boom, it automatically links and expands everything. So like YouTube links and other stuff that's in here to kind of show you what that looks like. I've been doing this, which is fine if you're on the website and you're clicking on it. But if you're like reading a book and coming here, that would kind of suck, right? So what I want to do instead is I can come into here and go, hey, I want to create a new URL. So just enter a URL. And then for the custom short URL, let's make this why choose Linux. Why choose Linux. Shorten URL. So why choose Linux is now this URL, and it is literally bam. There it is. Stop creating dangerous URLs, man. What? Yeah, this is all self-hostable. What are you talking about, Phoenix? Use a CDN or something, man. What? Why? I want to do it all myself. Well, I don't want to be supported by some company. I want to do it. So that's what I'm doing. Managing SSH and GPG keys. Typically I just have my own repository that's here local, and then I don't have anybody having access to it. You know, it's like special perims, like, you know, chmod 600, and then that's just direct storage only, direct storage access only. So that's typically on this system. And then I make sure, because I do a lot of live streams and videos, and I don't want to show people the full URL. So what I like to do is make a .config file. I think it's config.conf, or oh geez, it's something you drop it in your .ssh directory. Actually, you know what? I was just building this out in the links book. Speak of the devil. If you want to know, you can go to remote access SSH. This is kind of how I do it. I do a SSH keygen on the local machine that's going to be remoting into the server. And then I do an SSH copy ID. And then I lock down that remote server, removing like password authentication. And then instead of doing it this way with a user and port and IP and showing all that stuff, what I like to do is I just do a config file, which actually is just a config. That's it. Just no extension. So you put that in the .ssh, and then you just do host my server. You put the server IP, user, port, identity file, all that's right in here. So then when you're like here, you can just go, hey, take me to my projects server. This goes out, looks at the config file, fills in username, the actual location of the file, or the location of the server, and then the identity SSH file all gets plugged in automatically, and then it comes in. This is a pretty cheap server, so it might take a little bit. It's a little bit on the slow side. Anyways, and that's kind of how I do SSH. Obviously, no password authentication. I also do some tar pitting too, because SSH is an often dangerous port or often attacked port. So there's a massive attack vector there. So no password authentication. And then I tar pit, so you can only do a request once every 10 seconds, I think it is, through port 22. So then if people are trying to like brute force it or do anything like that, it's like good effing luck. It's just not fast enough to get responses. So it's a little slow on the connection, but I don't care. Yeah. Terminal.shop. SSH terminal. Oh, I need to try his coffee. Has anybody tried Prime's coffee, by the way? From terminal.shop? Let me, you know, I don't think I've ever even pulled it up. Let's try terminal. Cron, medium roast, artisan, Segfault, dark mode. Sweet blend of natural float, coffee cherry. Nah, not so much. So back in front. I wonder how much coffee he's selling on this. Oh, there's a membership now. Okay. Flavor of the month blend. Probably like an artisan. I'll probably just go medium roast. Although light roast is not bad. Decaf. Gross. Ugh. Missing the whole point. Although I have been pretty more... There's been times at night I do want coffee. So let's say you get that. Oh, no. So you need a plus. You can't do shift plus, I don't think. Can you? Oh, yep. You can do shift plus. Okay, cool. So then you get that. And then you can just go see checkout. You just fill it all out. So then it goes cart, shopping, payment, confirmation. I'll have to try that offline. That's cool. Yeah. Let's see. Let's see what you got going on. What are you using for this? Let's see. 5.7. You're using choto URL shortener. Interesting. I kind of like this one. Very small. The one I'm using, URLs, is a little bit more bloated. For sure. So this does seem a lot less. Like, the one I'm using is a full lamp stack, which, you know how much I feel like I really don't like lamp stacks very much for anything. That's nice. Yeah, I think while I like URLs is I'm trying to do it so I can put all this in a book. So when I'm back here and I'm creating like why choose Linux, let's go why Linux. So right here, instead of having this YouTube link, I kind of wanted it something like this. So then we can create these. And what was that one? Overview. All distros. So then you got all distros. Boom. Let's make sure that works. Oh man, I'm looking old in that picture. Let's copy that address. So that's my idea. I kind of wanted something like that instead of having like the direct YouTube addresses, because eventually if you do go to publication and people are reading, well, I mean, a lot of people, if you're doing it online, you can just click it. But I also wanted to make sure it was usable from a paper perspective. So like you're reading something and go, you know what? I want to know more about this. I want to see the video on this. But oh God, is that a I? Is that an O? Is that a 0? There's a lot of weird things that happen. And I just wanted something all lowercase, very simple address. So that's why I kind of created my own self-hosted URL shortener for that purpose. Like, look at that. Who wants to type all that in? That's no bueno. So, yeah. So we'll just put that in and then go LTS verse rolling. Copy. Boop. Paste. And we're all set. So that should be everything. So yeah, just some fun stuff I've been working on. Yeah. The problem, this is going to go to paper, dude. Yeah, the problem is, again, paper publication. You can't just be like, click here with a proper markdown link, because it's not going to show the URL. So you got to have something someone can type in if they're just looking at the paper book. Hence, URL shortener. It's the best solution I can think of. Yeah. How would you start a home server? Press the power button. Just use some recycled hardware and install your favorite version of Linux CLI, server CLI version of, and just go. There's a lot of false alternatives. I kind of want to make that too. Like just to get people away from subscription services, whether you're doing like a Plex or Jellyfin server, getting away from like subscription models. People pay for like bit.ly, if you can believe that. That's the thing. So getting away from that spot of things, I'm trying to think of anything else from a subscription perspective. When it comes to Jellyfin, Plex, I also use audiobooks. I use it for music. I don't like streaming services for that. Although, you know, I still use like YouTube Music because it's part of YouTube Premium. So I still pay for that subscription. I'm trying to think what else. Yeah, Nextcloud. What all do you host to get away from subscription services? What do people pay for monthly that's just completely silly and you can just self-host? Hey, how's it going, Caleb? Yeah, Revanced. Yeah, it's only a matter of time before all that shit gets shut down, though, from YouTube. Yeah, Nextcloud's solid. I had a Nextcloud server for the longest time, but I just don't do enough from a document standpoint to really warrant it. What is IM? Why haven't I heard that? Oh, okay. So IMMICH is a hosted video and image viewer. Ooh, okay. That's kind of cool. Local time machine for Macs. Yeah, I kind of like, I know Synology's been in the bad press lately, but they actually have a lot of really good suite of tools for that. But anytime you recommend some kind of big company, man, it's only a matter of time before they try and squeeze you into a subscription model. Mark my words, even though I like Synology for a lot of their current software, it's only a matter of time before they go completely evil and just say, hey, now you got to pay us monthly. Those bastards up, and I'm sure in the C-suite will probably get in and get their little greedy little hands and just, now it's a monthly fee. Everybody's going to a damn monthly fee. Techno Team just released a YouTube video about deploying. Oh no, I love Tim's amazing. I love talking to Tim. He's got a lot of really cool self-host stuff. If you're a home labber, you should know about Techno Tim. I talk to him on Discord every once in a while. So here's the problem. Is it cheaper to buy music and host it yourself instead of just pay the $8.99? So I understand the train of thought. You're thinking, oh God, it's only $9 a month. Surely I spend that. Well, here's the thing. One, it's not going to be $9 a month forever. Pretty soon that $9 turns to $10 because of inflation. And then all of a sudden, oh, that $10 turns to $15. The $15 turns to $20, and so on and so forth. So there's that slippery slope as more adoption happens, and they got you by the gonads at that point. Then they just raise the rates, as one does. The Walmart model is what we call that, right? Where Walmart came into these small towns, bankrupted all the local hardware stores, and then after they all moved out, they raised all the rates back up, and then they just robbed everybody blind. So there's the Walmart model to contend with on the monthly rates. The second thing is, do you even own any music? You're paying that $9, $10, $20 a month, whatever it is, and you're never owning anything. So that's money from, you're essentially just renting forever until you can't afford it anymore, and then you don't own anything. Where that $9 could only buy one CD or one album. Well, the thing is, though, you can listen to it forever. So when you don't want to pay for it anymore, you have a hosted library. So then you don't have to pay anything ever again. And I can't emphasize enough of how much that pays off. It pays huge dividends in the end. So yeah, it's only $9 today, but you're basically subsidizing your future, you know, like, or selling yourself out later on. Maybe it might be a little more painful today, but later on, you're going to have a better life. It's like not buying a brand new car today so you can actually quit the job you hate and go do the thing you love. Same principle. You just got to kind of suck it up for a little bit It's not necessarily bad. It's just you don't get maybe as much music, but you slowly build your library, and then pretty soon you're set. You know. So same principle. I think only fools have subscription models only. It's not that I don't pay for subscriptions, because I do, but slowly building that library up. I want to eventually never pay a subscription model. Here in 10 years, when everybody's paying $20, $30 times 10 to these subscription services because they all hit massive inflation and they got to pay everybody and it's just ungodly expensive, I'll be sitting here with all the library that I've bought and all the library that I own, and I'll have to pay a damn dime. So while you're sitting there churning out $200-$300 a month on subscriptions, I'm not paying anything. That's why you do it today. It's not necessarily economical today. It's not necessarily cheaper today, but it sure as shit will be. So that's the thing that you need to recognize. Don't screw over your future self because you were just lazy. How fast can you uncook your terminal I/O? What does that even mean? You don't think maintenance for these self-hosted solutions won't get inflated? Well, you're the maintenance man. What are you going to do? Don't raise your own rates on yourself, I guess. I mean, I get not everybody can do it. But you're just being lazy. Come on.
Yeah, well, to do the vibes.
I'm just saying. Self-host. Build your stuff up. Bid, thanks for the prime, man. You know. There's also this. A sense of accomplishment. Agreed. 100% Jaya. There's so much good stuff. I always say, just try it. Like, just use that piece of crap computer you're going to throw away anyways. Load up a server CLI on it. Just a base Linux distro with no GUI. Learn the command line. Build up your own stuff. And pretty soon you're going to be like, this was fun. This. I feel good about this. I mean, and I own it and I can curate it and I know exactly what's going to happen. I mean, that's so cool. It's fun. Uncooked is pretty much raw terminal I/O. You can do caret C and stuff. Oh, okay. Yeah, self-hosting feels good. I think everybody just try it. That's what I'm saying. It's not for everybody. I get that. Do you self-host your music? I mean, I am not 100% perfect here, guys, and I'll let you know that. I'm a big Plex guy. Again, Plex and Synology aren't the best solutions today. It's not what I'd start out on. But I've been doing it for 5-6 years now on those solutions. Actually, I think on Plex it's been more like 10 plus years. Because I bought their lifetime pass back when it was like $60 or something. And I was like, dude, this is so much better than Windows Media Center. I don't know so I've done self-hosting for so long. I had my own movie library. If you guys remember Windows Media Center, God, it was awful. You had to curate like your own metadata and crap. It was just like, you kids these days don't know how good you got it. Like, it's so easy to self-host now compared to what it was back then. Like, oh my God. I just remember like editing XML files and all kinds of crap to get it to look properly. And, it was just atrocious. Yeah, Jellyfin all the way is probably what I would do today if I had to start all the way over. Just switch to self-hosted email. Oh, what you using, Michael? I love self-hosted email. Windows Media Center was so trash. I know, Dan. It is. It was. Thank God it died. The main problem with self-hosting is you have to know how to make your local network secure because you can't afford getting hacked. Yeah. Yeah. Know what port forwarding is. It's not that difficult, though. I think most people can self-host. They're just too lazy to. If you're looking for, you know, I've used this in the past, too. If you're interested. I think it's called LiDAR. Or LiDAR. I don't know how you say it. It's not bad. So you could use that to search music and do all kinds of questionable activities, but it's kind of neat. So I use that from time to time. If you want TV shows and music and movies, you might look at Sonar and Radar. 2 hours at the end. Pretty cool projects. I'd love to make a video about it, but I would get banned. Absolutely banned immediately as soon as that dropped. And make sure you're using a VPN if you're going to use those things, for sure. Yeah. Well, I think you could probably get away with like a SOCKS 4 proxy. I bet you could do SOCKS for that. You don't necessarily have to do a VPN. I don't really like VPNs or SOCKS proxy either. My personal preference, and maybe this is just old man in me, but I think news groups are still where it's at. Like, downloading from news groups is chef's kiss. So fast, so much better than any torrent and all that crap. Don't get me started on that. And because they're kind of a pain in the ass to set up, nobody even does anything on the news groups and enforces anything. Because I think most people are too dumb to actually know how to track anything in a news group. At least from the music people, MPAA or whoever that body is that sues everybody. Yeah, news groups is the way to go, in my opinion. Check out my home. Oh, let's see what you got, Tech. Oh, man, look at this. I like it. Now that's a home lab. What's MeTube? File browser, Proxmox, Portainer, comics, audiobooks, notes, private bin, fresh RSS. Dude, that's one of my favorites right here. Fresh RSS. You talk about how the world's gone to shit and there's like no good options right now. I gotta tell you, like, here's my fresh RSS feed. No, that's Jippity. Where is it? Oh, sorry, I misclicked. So it's so much better. As everybody's news feed's just going to complete shit right now, and this has just saved my sanity. And I'm so glad I set this up. I did a video on it like a year and a half ago, something like that. Nobody watched it, but it was so easy to where, you know, I just want to see, hey, what's everybody else in the space doing? Okay, Brody's dropped some new videos. I like watching some of Brody's videos. I just kind of catch the titles and just kind of see what all's going on. And then I can go, oh, connect to home server from anywhere. He's using self-hosted overlay VPN. Netbird. I might check that. I've never used Netbird. And this is how I scroll. You can hit everybody. You can add whoever you want over here. General tech news, which is, again, kind of a crapshoot. Most of it's gone completely to shit, which I don't even know what you use anymore for you know, I think, yeah, Lifehacker, TechCrunch, and The Verge are awful. Do we have anybody else? I think I was using somebody else for that too. But yeah, let's see. Windows Error Report. Yeah, some people have taken down their RSS feed. So like this one looks like they killed their RSS feed. Yeah, let's just clean that up. Which one's this? Lifehacker? June. So no, it's still pulling. I think it just had an issue. Sometimes you can only pull so much per day. But yeah, what's the Linux? Sometimes I like checking this one. Like Phoronix is still really good. Gaming on Linux, I like to kind of catch the highlights of, and Frostbites. So I like coming through here too, and I just, depending on what I'm doing for the day, this helps me kind of navigate, get kind of the news of the day without completely brain rotting myself. So Fresh RS, dude, you gotta love it. Oh, what are you using for your RSS now? Okay, let's see. Home. Oh. What's this? Fit Girl Repacks. Shout out. How to download some Sims action for my wife. Because Electronic Arts can suck it. Anyways. You know, I think of The Sims. We did buy The Sims, by the way, like The Sims 4. I tried to be somewhat legit with that, but as soon as like the first expansion pack, like 10 years ago, broke, when you installed the next one that you legally bought, I was just like, you are not deserving of my money at this point. Hackers do a better job. That's kind of cool. Let's see. Ooh. That's pretty. Completely legal RSS. That's funny. You telling us to drink? Yes, of course. Take a shot. All right. Well, so what do you use? 5 fingers to expand the RSS feeds and do the poll? So usually I use Fresh RSS, and then I think I use the 5 fingers Docker's container to go to each link in the RSS and kind of fill out the articles. So then you don't ever have to leave your RSS feed, because ain't nobody want to do that. You know, nobody actually wants to browse the internet anymore. Cool, Caleb. You always say I sent you a DM on Discord. It wouldn't be a live stream without you coming in here and telling me you did something and sent me a message on Discord. Yeah. I forgot the app name of the RSS feed, but all services are the most exposed because I move a lot. Yeah. Tiny RSS. I don't think I've ever done that. I send my homework on GitHub pages. Yeah, read them on Thunderbird. A lot of people like to use Thunderbird for RSS. So let's say you don't want to self-host on a website like I'm doing with Fresh RSS. You could just use Thunderbird and then expand them with that Docker container that way too. It's another good example of doing it. You are missing something if you never used RSS. It's like black magic. Once you learn it, it is something that you can never unsee, and you will never get on the internet and check your feed again. You're never going to go pull up Google News or whatever the hell people... You know, people actually pay subscriptions for the news. Getting back on the subscription train. That blows my mind. Why would you do that? That's crazy. Like, there's so many different methods to get... Like, just learn RSS. You'll never, ever do that. And your feed's going to look infinitely better. Drives me crazy. My sister pays for, like, Apple News. I'm like, oh, why? Idiot. Oh, here, I already did the video. Here, let me link that video. See if I can find it. For RSS. Oh, what did I name it? Nope. News? Nope. Damn, what did I name the title of that video? Norm? Oh my god, what a terrible title for a video. Using RSS for... What's a better title here? Come on, chat, let's rewrite this. God, I need to redo that thumbnail too, but... using RSS for the news and loading all articles. What about that? I feel like that's good. Yeah, the old one was elevate from a normie to an elite internet user. Don't do drugs. Apparently, I was on them when I did that title. Like, Chris of the past. What were you doing? What were you thinking? That's an awful title. No wonder no one watched this video. Anyways, let's save that. Oops. Awful. Anyways. That should get you
absorbing stuff on YouTube and the internet as a whole is basically what normies do.
I kind of missed this feed. Let's see. I feel like my YouTube feed used to be better. Man, Peter McKinnon hadn't been in my feed forever. Anybody else? I still got a bunch of Final Fantasy 11 stuff. But anyways. Sometimes I just like watching people's YouTube feeds just to see. All right, cool. Well, that's fixed. Oh, I like that one. Rux, you're getting that. Let's do it. Actually, let's just take this tab. Boom. Thanks, Rux. You win the day. You win the day with that. That's a way better title. When was that video released? Let's see. It was released 3 years ago, May 21st, 2022. Hard to think I've been on YouTube for 7 years. Oh shit, I forgot to tell everybody. I've rebranded. Well, I kind of told people at the start of the stream, but nobody ever pays attention at the start because there's like 2 people in the chat. So I got rid of all my excess channels now, and I only have the 2. I renamed Titus Tech Talk to Chris Titus Technical. The reason for that was I wanted to do a video like setting up URLs. But the problem is that's so niche. Nope, not very many people want to self-host, build a lamp stack, toss this on it, and then maybe split that into multiple different websites and do like a different Apache configuration. And one, most people aren't even using Apache these days. Nginx or shit, anything really is probably better than this. But yeah, I was just gonna do that whole bit, and I was like, oh, I need to do that. So yeah. What do you use for the toolbar under the video on YouTube? That is Enhance YouTube, I think it is. I think I did a video on that one too. This thing? Yeah, that's Enhance. Enhancer for YouTube. So you can change playback, you can auto default playback quality. So YouTube, when it hits heavy load, what it'll do is it'll downgrade your stream quality to like 480 or even 720 by default. So I make sure it always does 1080. And then you can set default volume levels. You can also, like the player is another one I like to do. You can specify, hey, I always want to go into trailer mode. So anytime you hit playing, and you can specify which hotkeys you might use or not use. So let's say you're like, you know what, I'm never really using this one. You just undo it. You can also set specific themes for YouTube. I like the deep dark theme. So you'll notice my theme's just a little bit different from that. I also like cinema mode sometimes, depending. I also do hide shorts under the appearance, so I don't run into that. I should do 4 videos per row, no shorts. You can convert shorts into full-blown videos if you like. You can hide chat, comments, related videos, whatever you don't like. It just makes it more bearable. Now, you can also, like, if you want to do cinema mode when you're browsing, you can automatically enable that. Or if you wanted to do theater mode, which kind of does like a more widescreen format, you can actually automatically enable that. So then, let's say you're back here. Let's go back to YouTube. So now you got your 4 videos per one. You'll notice there's no shorts. So scrolling through, you're like, okay, what all do we have? Okay, so let's go.
First of all, welcome to the new place.
Boom.
If you guys missed last video.
So on this one, you'll notice it immediately goes into the theater mode. So it takes up the whole screen, and then you don't have it like chopped up, and then you have all the related crap on the other side. Ain't nobody like that crap. Like, you can fix a lot of the jank to YouTube and all the like awful things that they do. I haven't seen, sometimes they put those stupid games in here too. Let's see my feed. Is there anything really embarrassing in my feed? That'd be pretty funny. Few things. Yeah. So it just makes it more like old school YouTube. And I like that. Yeah, no, ain't nobody like shorts. Like, if you're on desktop, you're not using shorts in your feed. Yeah, PewDiePie. Blame PewDiePie. But I do like the new, just a minimal Hyperland theme, which I have everything there. I think it's even better than Fresh RSS. Man, that's a bold claim, Ahmed. Teeny tiny screenshots. Oh, I do like that. Yeah. I do like that better than Fresh RSS structure. I think Fresh would be good for mobile usage. But that looks a little better. Tiny RSS. Let's see, complete list. So you got TT-RSS. You got readability, unburn, languages. These are all first-party tools. Unread, Google Reader. It's pretty cool. I like that. Need more cowbell. You've got a hell of a feed there, Titus. Thanks, one dude. Appreciate it. Yeah, I don't know why they do some of those. Yeah, the playables are just awful. It's just, ugh. Why? No, you don't download every video. Oh, the free tube. Yeah. So that's like a, it works like torrents. So that is, or PeerTube, I think is another one. I think FreeTube, PeerTube. There's a few other ones out there, but that's more, yeah, you're sharing everything. I'm not quite there. Maybe if I didn't make money on YouTube, I would do something like that, but I make money on YouTube. So that's the whole purpose of me making YouTube videos. Which I never really understood. Like, I get, like, there's been other places that popped up. I remember Odyssey. People were talking about that as a YouTube alternative and other ones. But yeah, YouTube pays me money to make videos. So if I host the videos somewhere else for free and you watch them for free, then I don't make any money. So why would I make videos? So yeah, I never understood that. Like, why would you host videos for people to watch unless you made money doing it? Yeah. That was the problem. Eventually YouTube will screw shit to bed. You know, it's just gonna happen. That's gonna suck. Yeah. I always tell people, hey, get an ad blocker or whatever you want to do to try and get around YouTube. I'm okay with that too. I don't really care. Every time he goes live, he's supposed to do something that ends up yapping for 3 hours. Damn it. What was I supposed to do today? Here, let's do teeny tiny plugin. I'm going to get a new RSS feed. Let's say we did something today. I feel like Phineas and Ferb. What are we doing today? Mm-hmm. Mm-mm-mm. All right. Let's see, what do we have? Container manager. I know. I'm just still using old Synology. Ugh, gross. Boo. All right, let's see. These are all my current ones. We have, yeah, we're still using 5 filters and then fresh RSS into that. I think we can go TT RSS. John Gong. Let's see what that's about. Let's see if we can get an English Docker container so I can read it. Let's see this one. This one's updated 4 years ago. What about old John Gong? 16 days ago. I think we could probably just translate the page, right? Google Translate never makes any errors. Tiny RSS? I don't think that's going to yield any results. Well, we can try. These don't have many stars. Tiny RSS. Oh, this one. Here we go. Never mind. I eat my words. 127 stars. I think we got a winner. 18 hours ago. Yeah, buddy. And he has translations here. Perfect. Let's see. Usually they have a little bit more of an extensive README page, though. All right. Awesome TTRSS aims to provide a powerful Docker all-in-one solution for tiny RSS. An open source RSS feed reader and aggregator written in PHP. With enhanced user experience via simplified development and list of curated plugins. You may sponsor Awesome TTRS at its open collective page. Yeah, I was wondering What, any other documentation? Oh, here's docs. Okay. I kind of like it. Everything's written in a damn PHP. Damn near. Feels like it. So you do this. Got the deployment. From the back end, it includes Postgres, Mercury parser for the API, OpenCC API, and RSS Hub. Okay. It probably includes all this by default, so I don't think you're going to need to make a separate database. Let's just continue looking here. Doesn't handle HTTPS traffic, of course. Most don't. You can do like a cert bot if you care. I don't really want to expose this to the outside world, so I don't really care. I guess if I'm on my phone, though, it would be kind of cool. Yeah, for today. We'll just set it up normal. Auto update. Yeah. I'll just do Watchtower. I already have Watchtower installed, so that's easy enough. Alright, plugins. Full text extraction for Mercury. So we want to add that. That's essentially what I'm using for the 5 filters. Which 5 filters hasn't been updated in quite some years, so that's probably much better. For the API endpoint, and we'll see. Oh, it's already deployed at 3000, so we can just do that. And then it just extracts it all. Fresh SR Google API reader. So then you got this. Oh, so you can use it as an API, so you could actually have Fresh RSS and this if you want. Fever API, what's that? Huh. Okay. Let's do it. Let's do it. Who names open source? Mad Lads, that's who. Autistic people. Half joking. I mean, have you ever gone to like an open source conference? I'm not wrong. I'm a bit autistic myself, so you know, I'm not throwing shade at anybody but myself. I'm just saying. All right. Let's rename this. Tiny RSS. Port settings. We'll just leave it stock defaults. Where's the configuration file here? Where's that headed? Let's go. Configuration. So what I like to do is see, most times it just does it like root config folder, most Docker containers. But I like to do that way on updates, or let's say you destroy the container and then rebuild it, you can just point it at that and it's good to go. Okay. copy Postgres data volume somewhere else as a backup. This is important. Dump all your data. Okay, well, we're not doing that, but they put it in the home folder Postgres data. Shit. Well, what the hell's the home folder, though? Is it home? I don't know. Maybe it's just /root? It depends on how the damn thing was set up. Yeah. So let's go. Let's see that again. 1 second. No. Self URL path I don't care about. I just want to know where in the hell to map the config files. Where are you putting it? Well, shucks. Guess we're just gonna have to guess. All right. So this is the library. I don't see anything in here. You turkey, man. Let's go Docker. Create a folder, TT, RSS, select. We're gonna go -config because I don't know where it's mapped. We'll see what the structure looks like. I would imagine default's probs there too, but you know, you just don't know. Yeah, I just don't know until you get in here. Let's see the log. Give me something. Give me some love. Did that fail? Son of a biscuit. Come on. What? Why you do that to me? Do we have a port conflict? Probably. Yeah, timeout. Okay. Yeah. All right, log. Gonna give me something? Nothing. So you probably have a conflict on the network side of things, so it's not able to start correctly. Unfortunate. Well, I mean, I don't know, guys. What do you think? Let's delete it. I'm going to try a different one. Try and track us down something that's a little better documented. All right, tiny RSS. That's the one we just came from. Let's try tiny. Okay, let's try this one from Clue. Let's open up that Docker hub first. All right. Updated about 9 years ago. Well, that's why you look at it. Nope. Docker TTS by x86 dev. All right, ready to go. I like this one. 4 years ago. God bless, man. Here's an Nginx spin of it by Churtlehu. 8 days ago. Okay. 1 million downloads. We're talking. Now we're talking. Now we're cooking with gas here. Okay, this is volumes. For the compose, it wants to put in var lib Postgres data. So that's where the database will live. I don't think we need to copy the var www.html. I believe that'll be self-updated anyways. I just want to copy the database so we don't have to reload everything. Should the image get blown out or reloaded or updated and whatever happens. Okay, this one looks legit. Alright, let's try this one. Let's go. Okay. That one is the official. All right, well, we should be good there. All right, we're going to grab the latest, spin this image up. Rule 1 of open source. Use whatever the main developer recommends. User versions are full of crap. So true. So very true. Let's map. Just that data folder from Postgres. Done. All right, it's coming online. Now, let's see where this puts it. It'll usually just put it in like a randomized port because we didn't do like a bridge. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Looks like it is going to town and crating it up. Ready to start up. Boom. Hot diggity dog. All right. What port are we on? Oh shit, did this do a bridge? No. Port 80 would have been conflict for sure, right? Local port to 80. So what local port did it pick? We might have to do a scan to figure out where it tossed it. I mean, usually it shows it here though. Like if we look at let's go other container. Let's look at fresh RSS. Oh no. Yeah, we should have mapped that. Shit. Yeah, I know, there's a port conflict. Alright, let's stop and see if we can reconfigure it. 80 was not mapped. And if we change this mapping, we're probably going to have to change one of the configs too. Right? This looks like, this is bridge. It shouldn't be bridge, I don't believe. Huh. Let's go 80. And then let's map this to like, let's do 49,555. Okay, well, oops, I got these twisted, didn't I? All right, let's do that. Let's save that mapping, then start it back up. Let's wait for that to load. Then we should be able to just hit it. Okay. And when in doubt, we could always read the instructions. What's our log file showing? Looks like it's trying to set it up. Huh. All right. RTFM. Here we go. Let's just go to our images. There's that one. Actually, let's go to registry. What was that called? Jeez. TT RSS -web. Okay. Yeah. There it is. Okay. Installation notes. Boom. What's that? If you use Mac VLAN, the container can be assigned a LAN IP address. Ah, okay. Yeah, there's a lot of different ways I could set this up. I like to just kind of compartmentalize it a lot, since it's a container. And I don't mind mapping the ports Now, obviously, the main downside to doing this is if I'm outside my current local area network, I can't access this site at all. That's not lost on me, and that's by design. Typically, if I'm outside of this place, I'll VPN in to here, get a local address, and then I can hit these addresses again. So let's say I'm at work. I'll still have a connection, a tunnel into my current system. Now, because I'm such public facing, I don't like to open up any ports on my exterior firewall. So it makes things a little more cumbersome, but I feel better. No, I don't use Tailscale. I just use old school. Well, it's not like OpenVPN or anything. It's not that old school, but I think I'm using... Wow, God, what is it? I want to say Red something, but no, that's it's not OpenVPN. It's the newer one. Oh God, why am I drawing a blank? WireGuard. Thank you, Dan. Yeah, WireGuard. That's what I'm doing. Ever figure out anything on the VODs? Making them open to non-subs. No, not really, Para. I don't think I'm gonna do it. Because I want to make more videos, and I wanted these to be more spontaneous and just when I get them going, kind of just to do stuff. I don't want to be like, oh, let me curate a special live feed kind of thing. I feel like it turns into like a shitty YouTube video is the best way to put it. And I feel like if I'm going to put that time and effort into like curating the VOD, then I should just make a YouTube video. What the hell am I doing with the live stream portion of it? So it doesn't make any sense from the live perspective. So that's why I just settled on that. Oh, that's true. Yeah, I could make it open on Twitch, but then again, it's like, maybe. Using teleport on my Unify stuff. Yeah, teleport's pretty good on Unify. But yeah, I always end up going to WireGuard. The teleport on the Unify stuff, I just don't know if I trust it. Mainly because I know Unify... I don't know if Unify's been hacked. I want to say they did have a hack. I don't think it was like super serious, but it wasn't like my QNAP cloud level. That was awful. QNAP really screwed up multiple times and got completely compromised. So everybody's QNAP turned into ransomware boxes for a time. So yeah, thinking that. Are you currently completely on Wayland, or is this some ex-Wayland dependencies? No, I'm pretty much completely on Wayland now. Tiny RSS is Russian software. Oh no, the Ruskies are out to get me. Well played, comrade. Well, I'm still gonna try it. I'm just curious. Let me think. All right. What was I looking up? I was looking up. We're having web access. Okay, so this is TLDR. Put both .env and Docker Compose YAML in and edit the INV as you see fit. I don't think you need to do any of that, right? Should just work. Maybe not, though. Maybe you need to set up your own Postgres server. Which, maybe not. I don't know. No. Oh, website root. Oh, okay. Add the following variables to .inv. Oh, so instead of this, it's up. It's working. Right? Oh, maybe not. Okay. Nope. I feel like the config file wasn't written correctly. Yeah, probably need Postgres. Oh, I don't want to set up Postgres. Gross. Because then you set up Postgres, and then you're gonna need to do like the Postgres admin panel, like PHP and MyAdmin kind of style. I forget, was it like PG admin? I can't remember. I think it was PG admin is what I was using. I did it once for when I had multiple edits and I wanted to do like globalized video sharing when I was going through DaVinci Resolve. So I had a local instance of Postgres for a bit there, and then I was like, this is not worth it. I'm just going to edit everything on one PC. Yeah. I agree. I'm kind of out. Sorry. I mean, it's cool, though. Maybe I'll revisit it. But, yeah. For now, it just goes in the trash bin. Let's clear out my registry or my images. Kind of like to keep these clean, otherwise it gets bloated up. All right, sweet. Yeah, Postgres is easy. You don't need to do the manual setup. Yeah, agreed. I like Postgres compared to SQL. And I even like it better than MySQL. Like Maria or Maria, however you say it. There's still some form that I kind of love about just staying on the CLI, creating your database, creating your user, flushing privileges, and then exiting. Call me old school in that respect, but I kind of like that, where you don't even have the web GUI or anything, and you just do it all through the CLI. It's fine. But I do like tiny RSS. I think that is cool. I might revisit it. Because Fresh RSS may stop working. And I do think it does have a better feed than Fresh RSS. Yeah, SQLite is best for small scale stuff. See, I think SQLite would be way better for like an RSS feed, because then you just purge anything like 15 days or 30 days and older. There's no reason why you would need like a whole Postgres with authentication, all that crap, when it could just be like a super easy SQLite. Just drop it in, use it, and then it self cleans itself, and then you're good. And then it's never going to blow it up crazy big unless you add like 1,000 feeds or something stupid. So, yeah, GUI versus CLI. It just depends. Certain things I think make sense in the GUI, certain things don't. Sometimes CLI is better. Speaking of Linux, almost everything's CLI based, because everything's written for the CLI in mind first. So most of the GUI stuff is kind of like an afterthought. So I think that's why Linux desktop is just not seeing much widescreen redaction, because most of the GUI components and GUI counterparts are just not very well thought out, or there's more bugs, I would say. Oh no, there's drama. Not in the open source community. There'd never be drama around it. But let's see the drama. Oh, dang. 2.4 stars. Damn, harsh. What's the drama? Comments. Let's see. It's outstanding for the most part. Uh-huh. The developer and support team are jackasses, plain and simple. That's pretty funny. If you report something they disagree, they will mock and insult you. Sounds like a FOSS project. You have been warned. Example. Oh, let's see. Oh, they deleted that post. It's not for a Novus user. Okay. Works as local RSV and much better as a cloud option or a server. Okay. Alright, I've been using TTS for years and I've gained knowledge about the application and community that brings it. Although I think TTRSS is a very nice application, I also must warn users for a very mean and crude community. It seems Andrew, the author, aka Fox, make it a thing, insulting users with simple questions and opinions. What? What? This sounds like a Linux community. Open source community, it's like you either have thick skin or you just use something else. Like if you're easily offended, you just don't use anything FOSS. It's true though. Buggy and bloated. Gets the job done. Limited functionality. The whole community atmosphere is frightening. Developers not only block comments, but also insult, even extreme. If you want questions, you will be ridiculed. Now I use fresh RSS. Oh. Well, just goes to show. I mean, hey. You know, everybody, different things for everybody. It's the price of asking questions. I don't mind it. I don't mind if someone makes fun of me for asking a stupid question or a basic or a simple question. I'm like, whatever. But I do get a lot of people are used to that. And I don't want to sound mean or anything here or elitist. But I feel like, you know, most of these guys, again, are borderline autistic, so they're not very capable of reading human emotion, especially written text human emotion in almost every FOSS project. So you run into these people that are just freely giving out all their software, all their time, and then they get what's considered a simple question or a stupid question, and then they're like, I'm going to make fun of this person. I spent thousands of hours making it, and this guy doesn't even know how to set up a lamp stack or something simple. I get it. I understand. And that's kind of like where they're coming from. On the flip side of it, most of the average users are like, you know what? Shit, I'd rather just pay $5 and then pay for like a hosted solution and not even have to worry about it and then just have it set up for me. And I think that's where the subscription model comes in. So I think there's those, maybe there's a third option here, but I can't see it. What do y'all think? It sounds normal to me from a FOSS perspective. You either deal with a little bit of shit, little shit talking, or you kind of flip back and just go, you know what, I'm going to pay money and then have someone kiss my ass so I use their product. That does essentially the same thing as the assholes in the FOSS community. I'd rather deal with the assholes myself, but teach his own. Devs versus their only weakness, social interactions. It's a fair point. Unless they're EA devs, the weakness is actually developing a good game. God, truth. That's why paid support exists as a service. Yeah, I think so. I think that's a third option, a happy medium, I think, to this, is just have paid support. I would never do paid support. I'd much rather kind of err on the FOSS side of things, and then if someone asks me a stupid question, be like, Or enter a fourth option, the option I choose for all my FOSS stuff. Have a YouTube video. Just go, hey, I already answered this question on this YouTube video. Go watch it. You make a couple like fractions of a penny on ad revenue, but you times that by 1,000 if your product is used a whole bunch, you end up making a little bit of money. Maybe even enough to live on. I think that's a fourth option. I don't think it's a very good option for a company or a team of devs, But for like a solo dev, it's not bad. Yeah, you can always jippy it. I mean, like, let's see how it does. How to set up TTRSS in Docker. It's not that bad. Create an nginx.conf file. And then post it. That's not an awful solution. So yeah, maybe you just with the rise of AI, maybe FOSS projects will be used a lot more. Because Docker's a little more kinder to stupid questions. It looks like it's almost like a two-part container here on the Docker. I don't know if Synology's container stuff can support the database and the app. So during the compose structure, I don't know. I don't think it's creating the Postgres database. It said it was, but I'm not sure on that because there's two different containers that should be created, and we only saw one container. One's the actual database container, and one's the app container. Now, by default, like, Synology will separate containers, and they're pretty much sandboxed. You could always bridge both and just use obscure ports as the host instead of translating this. But I don't know. Seems a little bit of a dice roll to me. Yeah, I want to set up a local LLM. I hate giving money to NVIDIA. That's my problem. And I don't want to have like another box that's just constantly producing heat in my system. So I'm kind of like, I do, but I don't want to set up a local LLM. I think when they get too out of control and then the Walmart model kicks in and they start raising their rates and it's no longer free for me, I'll probably do something. But right now it's kind of free. So I'm like, sure, I'll use your crap for a little bit. But eventually I think we'll probably all be on some kind of local LLM. Yeah, the Compose probably would work with raw Docker. I'm pretty sure it's like a Synology thing. What about DeepSeek? It runs mainly on CPUs. No. DeepSeek needs a GPU as well. Pretty beefy GPU as well. I think 24 gigs is pretty much a standard to run just like a, not even up to Jippity 3.5. So probably like a 3 or a little bit less than a 3.5 would be a 24. Oh, I think you need, about a 24 gig GPU to get something half as good as what you see just for free online. And half as good probably would get you there. Like, most times it hallucinates anyways. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm kind of just like, I'm not ready to build out a local LLM yet. I'm ready to see where that goes. Oh, you can get AMD AI 395 with the scalable RAM. That's interesting. Well, that might work. Okay. Let's see, what else do we have? So we got Y Linux. Oh yeah, I was just checking to see if we have anything more. This is chapter 1. Chapter 2. Oops. Go Markdown. Xorg versus Wayland. I'm gonna finish this off while I'm sitting here. All right, light DM, customization. Slowly going through all these. And also, I'm kind of looking to see other videos I can put in there to expand certain parts that maybe I'm missing. Have the written portion and then also the video to correspond with. I've made enough videos that should be good. And then the highly technical videos I haven't done yet on certain parts, like maybe configuring Bluetooth or something more obscure, I'll put on the second channel. So this one, what was this one? Desktop environments. All right. KDE customization. KDE customization. Cinnamon customization. Oh my gosh. I didn't even realize I did a cinnamon customization video. That's probably like 5 years ago. Back in the Mint era. I did some Mint and it just never really took to Mint. Is there no way to do the video substituting through CLA or API? I mean, you could, but I mean, it's not that many videos. Like, we have maybe 70 videos altogether, and I kind of want to touch where they're going anyways, and I'd much rather make the URL names make sense instead of just having like a bot scrape it and just kind of go, hey, here's XFC customization video or whatever it might be. So I want the URLs to be consistent, and I don't want that just automatically made. I know it seemed a little tedious, but it's not that bad. All right, what else we got? Oh, this looks good. Like this one would be a good example of why you don't have like a bot write it. So this would be build anything. Just like a shorter name of what the other one was. Instead of saying build what you want as the link, just say build anything. It's just like little things like that that make sense to me. This is good night. Look at this link. Let's shorten that. Grub config. Old GNU. Anything else? This one's gonna be Grub Talk. Man, GNU, look at this. This is another thing I notice Linux people do. Like, you want people to obviously you spend thousands of hours on making a product. Like, the GNU tool set for Linux is amazing, right? That's why most people are like, it's technically GNU/Linux. But much like how Debian has like their downloads set up and how their website is, it's like they don't put any thought, or even worse, it feels like they're actively trying to get people not to use their software just by looking at like the short links. Just standard usability. If you took like 2 seconds just to set it up to where it's like you click here and it goes there, like, make it readable. For Christ's sake, it's just silly that every FOSS project's like actively trying to make sure people don't use the shit. It drives me crazy. Like, you spend thousands of hours creating an entire desktop environment, and then you don't spend any forethought into like making a pretty wallpaper, making some sane defaults, maybe not having hotkeys written by a crackhead. You know, it's just stuff like that that drives me crazy. And I say this because if you look, gnu.org/software/grub/manual/grub/HTML mode, and then the index. This is just the stock. Like, this should be just gnu.org/grub. And then the index would be there. Like, get rid of this. Like, this is just laziness. Putting HTML node in there, please. Whatever you're using, whether it's Nginx, Apache, whatever the hell you're using to host this shit. Just a fraction of a second of forethought could totally make this more readable. But whatever. We'll make a freaking short link. Watch, somebody from GNU Foundation will probably watch this stream and then fix this shit afterwards, and now my shortened URL is gonna be broken. Anyways, we're gonna call this Grub Talk. Yeah, it's just one of those things. Marginalia search? That seems like a risky click. What is that? Huh. Oh, that's kind of cool. It's a neat one. Neat one, Len. Phoenix. I've been playing with live booting Windows on a USB drive on a virtual VHD. It's really cool. I use Yumix XFAT for that. Okay, Ahmed. Yumi used to be one of the de facto standard all-in-one tools for USB. I think it was like Yumi USB. It was amazing. Not very user-friendly, again, but it was cool. All-in-one USB stick before the rise of Ventoy that's kind of taken over. Hot take: Unix philosophy that led to worse quality software. I don't know about that. Doing good, Christoph. Did you see great news? Denmark is removing Windows and moving to open source software. Oh, yeah. Yeah. The Denmark's with LibreOffice. Did you all see this? I think I did see this move. Yeah, up to half of Denmark's employees of the Ministry of Digital Affairs will move from Windows to Linux. But this is their strike through. Be switched from an unspecified version of Linux in place of Windows. Apparently that was not true. But they are moving from O365 to LibreOffice. Okay. LibreOffice does work on Windows. Would be curious to see if they do try on Linux. I know the German government tried to move to Linux for a while, and then Germany moved back to Windows after some time. I want to say they did about 3 or 4 years, and I think it was only a part. I think it was only a city in Germany that did it, not necessarily the whole government of Germany's government. Let's see. It's cool, though. I do appreciate a lot of the regulations of Europe that has brought much of the like tech giants saying, hey, if you want to keep doing business here, you need to standardize, you need to remove these anti-consumer practices, which is great. Like Edge, for instance. Microsoft Edge is just atrocious. I'd love to get rid of it, uninstall it, but you can only do it in European countries, technically. We've proven you can do it here. It's just more cumbersome. I'm waiting for them to screw that up on an update and then get sued again for like billions. I'm like, well, that's okay. When you're worth like $2 or $3 trillion, you can kind of just do whatever the hell you want and be like, oh, you're only finding me $1 billion? Yeah, sure. That was yesterday's change. And essentially that's what Apple and Microsoft and the rest of them do. Yeah. We'll see what happens with this. I've used Libre a lot, and it's good. There's a big change from Office 365 here. Office 365 is still kind of like the de facto standard, and when we put standard users on here that have been used to Office for 20 years over to Libre, it just depends on who sets it up. If they set up LibreOffice, just like install it and then walk away, it's going to be just an absolute shit show. I really hope they take the effort and customize it. The one thing about this is, one thing Windows does really well, why you still see Windows everywhere in business, is group policy objects and having a consistent user experience on a whole, like thousands of machines. Yes, you can do it in Linux. I specifically would use like Nix OS. You know, I don't usually talk highly of Nix from a tinkerer's perspective, but from a sysadmin perspective, Nix is like #1 distro with a bullet. If you learn Nix, you can have a very replicatable user experience on every machine and not have to worry about it. So I would probably put Nix OS here. And then for LibreOffice, a customized version of LibreOffice is key. Using the stock defaults of LibreOffice will be absolutely atrocious. They'll spend millions of dollars and get nowhere, and then immediately just go right back to Office, which is probably what will happen. I hate to be that cynic or that salty person, but I've dealt with users enough to know how stupid they really are. Probably the best way to... I think I did a LibreOffice video. Yeah, actually this one right here, Microsoft Office versus LibreOffice, how to make the change. There's specific things you gotta do. One, installing MS Core fonts, because guess what? Almost everyone uses freaking Calibre, Times New Roman, Arial. All that shit's owned by Microsoft. They're Microsoft fonts. Install that shit. Like, if they don't do that, it's an instant fail. Vista fonts and other things that you can do as well. But yeah, here, let me drop this in chat. Let me just copy this link, drop it in chat. If anybody does want to use LibreOffice, you do need to make some changes. The stock settings. Stupid Linux people go, oh, you just install LibreOffice. It's better. It's better than Microsoft Office every time. I swear, guys. LibreOffice. I don't know why anybody uses Microsoft Office. It's because they're just a bunch of idiots. And then you're like, yeah, well, if you don't change anything, people can't even read. People will be saving shit, be in some open format, and then nobody can open the damn file. It's so fucking stupid. It's like, come on, man. Oh, you're killing me. You're killing me. you gotta configure LibreOffice to make it somewhat usable, and even then it's gonna fall short. You have a shot at least then, but it's not a slam dunk that most Linux people will make it be. Just being real, because I've had to deal with it so much. Fun fact, Yumi is Ventoy now. Ventoy base now. Oh, it's gotten much better. Okay. Ventoy on steroids. Shit, I'm going to have to revisit Yumi. It didn't work when I tried it to go. That's cool. Oh, you know, Only Office actually is the closest experiences I found to Microsoft Office as well. I think Only Office would be a better alternative to LibreOffice. I know that's terrible because OpenOffice or Only Office isn't open. Is it open source? I want to say there's like some type of bit of it that's closed or something. I can't remember. Why do the FOSS nerds not like it? I can't remember. LibreOffice Open CSV is much better. Yeah, that's true. How's it do with docx files? Ooh, eesh. Nah, not so much. Oh, what do we got? What do we got? We got another link from Zero. Zero Leon. I'm probably saying that wrong. I'm sorry. I butchered it. Zero Linux KDE to Hyperland. Oh, snap. Maybe PewDiePie is going to be looking at this soon. Zero, you've always done such a good job on your theming. Whenever I'm talking about FOSS people not making their stuff look good out of the box, that does not include you, sir. You do amazing work. Look how clean that looks. So nice. You do a good job with your theming. Always want to give you props where you deserve, man. That's awesome. I love it. So what are you using? Elements you use Kitty, NeoVim, of course. Waypaper. I don't think I've used Waypaper before. I'll have to take a look at that. Icons, Tella. Land Dark theme. Rofi for the menu. I've actually been using Fuzzle lately. I like Fuzzle. It's a little more minimal, but Rofi is obviously what most people use. NWG Dock, Hyperland. I mean, teach his own. I know some people like docks. I don't know. Feel like an Apple fanboy whenever I use a dock like that, but it's just me. Thunar for the file manager, best file manager in my opinion. Waybar for the bar. You know, I've never been a big fan of Waybar. I've been trying to do Quick Shell. That's what mine's written in up here. I really like Quick Shell. I think it's going to be the future, but I don't know. We'll see. Hyperlock. Yep. Screen lock. You got to use Hyperlock. Hyper idle. Yep. Logout. If with Quick Shell, you can actually design your own logout sequence and stuff. So I don't even think you need logout. Don't quote me on that. Grim and Slurp and Salty. Or Satty. I don't think I've ever used Satty. What is that? Modern screenshot annotation. Let's see what we got. Enhance. Enhance, give me all the pixels. Oh. Oh, I like that. That very, very much reminds me of Flameshot, which I saw Flameshot did come to Wayland. I couldn't get the damn thing to work, but it did get updated to support Wayland apparently. Just not Hyperland. Very cool, man. Let me go back. Let's give that a star. I need to come back to it. The only thing I think Linux lacks is documentation written for idiots. Well, I'm trying to help on that side of Christopher. Hopefully I get there. That's the one thing. Xorg got forked. No, I didn't. I saw another article got written out, man. You know they went back through and, was it Miguel that forked it? They ended up going back through and retroactively redoing, like, the main Xorg branch from Free Desktop. They ended up actually reverting many of his PRs. Can you believe that? Apparently they were not well written. Apparently. I haven't looked into it. Nor will I. I just could care less. Shout out to the chatter earlier talking about FOSS software names. We got Slurp and Salty and Rofi. It is what it is. It really is. Windows got kicked out for being too drunk, and Linux got kicked out for wanting to drink for free. Oh my god. Yep. Yeah. Oh. God bless. That is great. That is the new stream title. That's just too good. Oh, that is just too good, Gallagher. I love it. How are you not a VIP, by the way? That deserves a VIP for that comment. Just chef's kiss. You couldn't have said it better myself. Amazing. Did you manage to remove Copilot entirely in Edge? There's no fucking way you're gonna remove that from Edge. Like, Edge is already borderline unremovable. And Copilot is getting more services with 25H2. More features that are going to get baked into the freaking image. Good luck. I mean, we'll try. We'll give it the old try on getting rid of it. But at this point, you should just expect that shit to be there. There's just nothing. What are we doing? What are we doing? It is what it is. Microsoft. They're crackheads. They're high on stealing user information, and that shit's not going anywhere, guys. That's just gonna... we've learned anything over the past 10 years, that's just gonna continually get worse. It's like that meme. Worst day yet. Worst day so far. Stealing this much data so far. But it's just gonna keep getting worse at this point. It's just a big joke. The entire Windows operating system. Oh my gosh. Yet another paste. Do I need to replace my Haspin? Haspin I don't think has been updated in a while now. I might actually. What's the terminal look like? So I'm still using bin.christitus.com. This not very many people using it yet. What's it written in? We got some Go. 22% Go, JavaScript. I'll keep my eye on it. So I've always used Haspin, which... Where is Haspin at now? I think it's been forked so much. I don't even know what the original Haspin is. Anyways, if you go bin.christitus.com. Yeah. So this would be my way of giving stuff to people. So let's say I have a file. Let's say I want to give you guys my bash RC. This is something I do. Bash RC. Boom. And then I can just go bam. And then you can just snag it right down. And then you get my entire bash RC. Just using a global haste bin that I host. It deletes all that stuff after like 30 days or something. Windows 10, IoT, Enterprise LTSC is the way to go. Yeah, LTSC is good so far. I'm kind of curious. I think 2022 LTSC is probably the best version of Windows out right now to use. I just don't know how much longer that will be true. Oh, Hastebin was hidden. Oh, they took it down? Do I need to post a Hastebin for you guys? Oh, wow. Well, if you want to self-host, like I did. I didn't know they took Hastebin completely offline, though. That's wild. You just Google Hastebin? No, I'm not the 5th result. Okay, so then this was the subscription-based kind of stuff, I want to say. Oh, yeah, this was what I was doing. Now, I want to say should show the source. Where's my source code for setting that up? Oh, this was just my setup. What about okay, Topoltal. That's the company that got the FOSS project. They closed sourced it, and then I think they deleted all mentions of it. But there should be haste server. Oh no, they removed it, didn't they? I think this was the one. So I think what I had to do is I believe they ruined it somewhere in here, and I think I grabbed like an older version. So I did a checkout, and then I just grabbed the SHA hash, and then I force pushed to that commit, or just checked that commit out, and then I just forked it from there. It was, I think, around the time when Topoltal, or however the hell you say this crappy company that took it over, before they got their little greedy little grimy hands on it, I forked it from that spot before the buyout. So, but it looks like sometime like bumping braces and updating code owners. I think I forked it from probably this 3rd or 4th commit down, and then I was like, hey, that's where I grabbed the haste server from. That's what I used for it. All right. Let me pull it back up. Let me start at least so I can check in on it. BSD3 client license. Pretty simple. Can you use it from CLI? You can search the haste, which is kind of cool. Responsive UI, Tailwind, blah blah blah. Yes, you can. Powerful API, create and fetch paste without leaving terminal. That's the one I care about. Although most other people probably won't care. Private and public face. You got built-in rate limiting. Easy host. Okay. Yeah, I appreciate it. Appreciate it, Rux. I think that'll be cool to look at. Well, X11's still maintained by Xorg, Free Desktop. X Libre is the fork for Miguel. And I believe he's the only developer that moved over there. So, most people are just drumming up drama with that. I don't think that's going to go anywhere, though, from looking at it. What is the solution to get any other browser to play streams on Twitch in microWin-based Windows 11? Solution is don't use a browser to do Twitch. Use Chatterino. So let's say you want to see this. Let's see, do I have Streamlink installed? I might not. Okay, maybe. Was that me? What was that? There's an ad. Where is it? Oh. Okay, maybe. Was that me? What was that? There's an ad. Where is it? Oh, this is weird. Okay, maybe. Was that me? What was... I do have it installed. It's all me. All right. Oh. Oh no. How do I go full screen? What was the hotkey? Shoot. Hotkey. Trippy. Alright, what was my hotkey for that tiling? Hotkey? Let's just go to bind. Okay. So, mod key E, no. Mod key V, toggle floating. Why is V floating? What's mod key F? I want mod key F for full screen. But I do not. Did I not bind mod key F? Oh my god. That's a crime against humanity. What is wrong with me? Okay, well that works. Hey! It is you. My screen is not flickering. Forgot the great news. A now dual boot microwin created by your toolbox and upload it further. 69 services. Sweet. 780 RAM on boot. Nice. Nice. Ayo. Might need to get into flags and make sure Widevine isn't blocked for the DRM, if I remember correctly, for Twitch. Yeah, I like just using Streamlink with Chatterino for all Twitch streams. So you get a really good experience, and you can do like matrix mode, so you can like tile them all, and then have multiple stream tabs. So let's say like the Primogen. Right? So then you got like the Primogen sitting here on this channel, and then you can be like, yeah, I want to tile him up over here. So I'll open it in Streamlink and then toss that. Or I could like, hey, open just the player in the browser, and you can shoot different Twitch channels to different spots, which is nice. And I want to say it won't play like the crappy Taco Bell ads and stuff. It'll just say there's an ad break or something of that nature whenever you're on here. So there's ways around it, whatever you can do. Yeah, but oh, what do we get? Yeah, I like Chatterino. It's really nice. It's one of my faves. But also you could use WeChat. Not the stuff from China, but the actual program WeChat. So WeChat's like an IRC client, because at the back end of things, if you just want to chat, The IRC client's pretty good, and you can do a lot with that. So you could do WeChat. The only problem why I use Chatterino instead of WeChat is mainly for emojis. Emojis won't display, or haven't figured out a way to have them display properly through terminal. So Chatterino is kind of like, if you just want the chat with no emojis, that works. But if you want the emojis, then you kind of need like a Chatterino type solution. Okay, let's look up Ex Libre now that I've put my hat in the ring. Ex Libre, wasn't it hosted on like GitHub? Because everybody's like all about it. So let's look at the commits. So you got Metux, Lego Lives Matter. All right, Dasha. Well, I mean, okay. We're starting to see more commits by other people. Because this is just yesterday. MJ Bear, Dasha, Anus. Sorry, Anas. My bad. Oh my God. You can't take me anywhere. Stephen VW. It'll be interesting. Okay, that's a lot of contributors. I hold my opinion. That's why I haven't made a video about it. I kind of want to see what happens with it. I mean, you guys know I still have a soft spot for DWM and Xorg. There's just nothing cleaner and easier. Older hardware can't use Wayland. Well, so here's my problem with Wayland. It kind of sucks to use in a VM. Have y'all noticed that? Like, load up any Wayland spin, and it kind of performs like ass. So I prefer Xorg almost exclusively. Xorg for VMs just works infinitely better. And I know this might be kind of a technical or even elitist thing about Xorg, but it's something I used and still use almost daily, and it's absolutely amazing. Can anybody in chat guess what it is? You get a free cookie or a VIP. Maybe we raise the stakes and I'll gift you a sub or something. I don't know. Synergy. Well, that's true too, but that's not what I was thinking of. Synergy is quite nice, but I have been using Landmouse as a break fix for that. So, Landfix is pretty good. DeskFlow. DeskFlow's nice, but I don't use it. Barrier's no longer used. That's now going to be... Oh, what's the developed... what took over for Barrier? Why am I drawing a blank? Oh, Moonlight's nice. X-Randar. Synergy, it's actually Synergy 3 now. They actually reached out to me and sent me a free license for Synergy 3 full. Suckless. I mean, close. Suckless is amazing. DWM is amazing. Still my favorite of all window managers. I don't think you guys are going to get it. And when I say it, you're going to be like, of course. You're absolutely right, Titus. You're a genius. I always knew it. Hidden behind all that facade, I always knew you knew something. Pipewire, WinRAR, Looking Glass. Does Looking Glass not work on Wayland? Probably. No, I think it works on Wayland. Global Keys. No, that's not an Xorg thing. Flameshot's now Wayland. Windows. Nope, they both work. Alright, I just gotta tell you guys. And I'm gonna type it in chat. You ready? X11 forwarding. Absolutely amazing. You can literally go into something that has Xorg. You can launch remote applications. Pretty damn good. Yeah. Yeah. Does Wayland have that? Does it? Does it have it? Or is this an... Yeah, I don't know, Olaf. You have a cool name. I love the name Olaf. But I'm a little sus whether or not that's true. I need proof. I need proof of this. This black magic you speak of, Olaf. What is Wayland using for X11 forwarding? I must know. Tell me. Tell me now. I need a wiki link. Or a GitHub repo to go to. I must know. He's taking an awfully long time to put that in there. Waypipe. Oh, shit. You might be right here. Waypipe. Network transparency for Wayland. Waypipe is a proxy for Wayland clients. It forwards Wayland messages and serializes changes to a shared memory buffers over a single socket. It makes an application similar to SSHX feasible. Son of a bitch. You learn something new every day. Not bad, sir. Not bad. Olaf, you, sir, get also a VIP. Boom. You are now a VIP of the channel. Very good. Very good, sir. Waypipe, I shall remember that.
The dude abides.
4-0. Thanks for the prime, man. 10 months. Sweet. Yeah, that's why I love streaming. Like, think of all the different weird rabbit holes we've gone down in the last 2 hours. There has just been so many. So many rabbit holes of all. Alright, there's that. Grub. I think I had like a list of... Oh, yeah. Look at all these grub videos I've done over the past. Oh my word. Oh my god. Let's go. Repair Linux with boot failure. Repair Linux with boot. All right, and fix multi-boot. I'm slowly just churning through this. This is kind of how I do things. It's my ADD mind at work. As I think of something, I'm like, I'll just knock out a couple more of these. Add a couple more chapters here and there. You know? Super Grub disk. We're just going to call it Super Grub. Super Grub. Anime is illegal in Texas. Bro, they're going to be raiding my house. My son loves anime. So does my daughter, too. Bootloader themes is the next one. All right, and Grub Rescue is the next one. Man, a lot of people don't know about Grub Rescue. It's kind of funny. Rescue. Grub Customizer. Is Customizer even used anymore? I think Grub Customizer's gone now. Does anybody know if anybody picked up the torch? Last time I looked, it was deprecated. Deep In picked it up 8 months ago. You don't mind China spying on you. Oh, dirty boogeyman of Deep In. Linux will get you. I don't know if anybody ever got to the bottom of that, or was that all just smoke and mirrors? Or was it all just made up? I don't know. Yeah, it looks like the last update to Grub Customizer was on Testing Branch in Debian in 2024. So it hasn't seen very much. Let's see if anybody says deprecated. Alright, Linux for Noobs, here we go. Great subreddit for new Linux users, by the way. I highly recommend Linux for Noobs. You can ask anything here. These guys are pretty understanding and pretty chill, which is rare in the Linux community. This guy's just recommending Refind instead of Grub. You know, I've never been a big fan of Refind. Although, the first triple boot system, Mac, Linux, Windows, on one system, I used Refind. Refind was the only one that could boot all three from the same menu. Yeah. Okay, so Grub Customizer's been deprecated for years. And there's not been any updates between Buster and Sid. So, yeah. Looks to be that way. Use Refind. Okay. I need to revisit Refind. Yeah, Refind's a bootloader. Yeah, I think one thing about YouTube streams that I just absolutely hate, like, why cannot YouTube just do IRC chat? It's not a, like, the chat system in YouTube is literally programmed by a madman. Like, it is awful, atrocious, the worst ever. I cannot emphasize how bad YouTube live chat is. God awful. Ugh. Awful. Like, why? Why is it like that? Like, they could do anything else. Just make chat usable. Like, what's wrong with just having an API key and authenticating through IRC like Twitch does it? Twitch chat, amazing. I don't understand. The video is good, though. Agreed, Rux. Like, I think the ideal is a dual stream between here and YouTube. Watch the video on YouTube and then just chat on Twitch. I feel like that's like the win-win of all of a live stream. But yes, I don't understand YouTube's chat. Why is it still just complete dog water? It's been like 10 years. They've had time to make it better. They've had time to actually make it not a heaping pile. And it seems to only gotten worse. That's the crazy thing. Yeah. Yeah, well, moderators do. Like, Rux mods the YouTube chat. So a streamer I know has a custom website with Twitch chat and YouTube's video when he streams. That's pretty legit. I don't blame him on that. Man, it'd be a lot of work. Yeah, the dual stream used to work. Oh, you hid it behind a paywall. I know. I'm just a greedy, dirty bastard. I know it. But this way is just so much easier. It's less work on me. I'm sorry. I don't have to worry about keeping up with 2 chats. It's so much easier. Ah. Oh, yeah. Co-Carnage has a whole entire community. Are you really sorry, though? Yes. Yes, I am. Truly, I'm sorry. I don't know why anyone watches me. I'm awful. I am awful. I am told that every day in the comments. And that's okay. We are who we are. Alright, I guess we could... You know what? I'm going to get rid of this Grub Customizer video because people should not use Grub Customizer in 2025. Yeah. Let's get rid of that video, actually. Now that I'm thinking about it, we don't need to automate that. That's why we have the Primogen on the tab. It's true. Dude. Yeah, thanks Silvers for following the Primogen. And Wardle LLM3. And Anzo Mar33. Dude. There's so many people that watch Prime. Oh my gosh. No. Can you link it, Dry? The Terminal Shop documentary? Or is it a mockumentary? I could see that being Prime. That's pretty funny. Colonel Params. Let's go here with this one. See, this is another kernel.org, the actual official Linux kernel. It's another website. Look at that. One, you got the www. It's not the root domain. You got doc and HTML folders and a version /admin guide. Like, this is just awful. There shouldn't be any versioning in your this. It should just be admin guide. The version should just change behind the scenes, and you shouldn't have these leading indicators going into this. Anyhow, just another Linux thing. Just another problematic Linux thing. I'm not salty at all. Parameters. All right. So we got chapter 1, 2, 3 done. Now, server CLI, I will probably be making some new videos over on the secondary channel, just some technical videos like showing basic lamp stack installations, using remote desktop with like we talked about X forwarding, but using like VNC, sharing your existing desktop versus, which actually, funny enough, if you ever use X11 VNC, there was Ubuntu originally created, I think it was Vino, V-I-N-O, and that was very much like X11 VNC. And then you have probably a more tried and true VNC setup with an actual desktop, like its own separate instance. And that's using Tiger, I think, is how I wrote this. I've used Tiger a bunch on Linux. Works pretty darn well. But most instances, I just use SSH. Very rarely do I actually want a remote desktop into Linux. So I think we're good there. Let's go ahead and update our changes. Update links to short links. Let's do a commit, sync that. So how I update this now, I've worked on some more stuff behind the scenes for the publish. So now I just do an update. It rebuilds everything in EPUB. And then spits it out, updates, rsyncs, copies, does the publish, auto does all the stuff to Cloudflare, and then boom. Here in like a minute, you can do a force refresh and all my changes are done. So from here to here, it's just literally one script. And then it automatically does it. So then when you're like, hey, why choose Linux? Boom.
Why I use Linux over Windows or Mac OS?
Pretty slick. So much easier. And we're creating a book on the same process too. I like it. Very, very practical. I've been disappointed in you and the Primogen since you both shill for vibe coding. Oh. Did you not hear that I moved from Cursor? I no longer use it. Now, I would love to tell you I moved from Cursor because I am morally and ethically disappointed in the shift to using AI. But I would be lying to you if I did say that. I am just simply too cheap to pay Cursor its $20 a month to use it as an LLM. And furthermore, if you didn't know, you do get GitHub Copilot for free if you have a Git repo with over a couple thousand stars, which I do in fact have an open source repo over 2 stars. So I don't pay for Copilot and I get it free. But you're like, Titus, Copilot sucks. Copilot's always wrong. It always hallucinates and tries to fill in all kinds of stupid shit. Right you are. But it's better than Cursor. Because if you look here, and you can't really see it here, but you can see you don't have to use Cursor or Copilot. You can just use VS Code, click Control-Alt-I, switch it to Cloud Sonnet. I'm trying 4 preview. It's kind of it's all right, I guess. I kind of like 3.5 better. And yeah, for free. Free. I don't pay anything anymore. Boom. How you like them apples? I don't know. I just like 3.5. I guess 3.7's okay. Sometimes like the 3.7 thinking is just like, ugh. It's very special. Let's just say that. We could try 4. I don't care. I only use it every once in a while. But it's fun. So like if I need to like ask something or like, hey, kind of explain this, or check for spelling errors or something like that, it can do it. So I have that capabilities. It's still probably not as good as Cursor, and Cursor's probably faster, but I don't really vibe code that much. Like most of my vibe coding is like asking questions or, hey, explain this function, or hey, I'm trying to repair Pipewire on Hyperland. Explain these errors to me, and then I'll try them out and go, okay, well, that was mostly right, but let me fix a few things you got wrong. And then off to the races I go. So, yeah, Oh, okay. Okay. Oh man, might have to do a Primes react on that. Since we should react to it. Be great. Better turd is still a turd. I mean, it's worse than Cursor, I'd say, for the most part. Although, I mean, it gets me most of the way there. Like, I don't like agent mode. I like just chatting. So, you know. Okay, yeah. Well, you don't have to call me out like that, Ahmed. Just give me this. Just let me have it for a little bit. That's all I'm saying. Using Linux mostly happy, but have not figured out quick monitor sound swaps like Window P does. So what I like to do, Nightwalker, is I use Pavu Control. So Pavu Control is a great way of managing sound in Linux. And what I do is I usually just disable. Like, let's say I'm not going to use this. I would just turn this to off. And then when you look at output devices or recording or playback, it would only show that device. So if you have a whole bunch of stuff, like remove all the HDMI crap and things you're not going to do, unless you're using HDMI for audio. But that's typically how I manage audio in Linux. Pavu Control gets me most of the way there. And then very easy to kind of go back and forth. And I prefer that to Windows audio a lot of ways. Although I would say just from a base back-end standpoint, Windows still does a better job than Linux in audio. Audio in Linux still is just gross. It's kind of like video in Linux as well. Video's not ideal. It's getting better. It's getting a lot better. But it's still behind Mac and Windows. Oh, monitor switching. Oh, well. Xorg or Wayland? I apologize if it's too mean. I don't like vibe coding. No. I visualize the movie Idiocracy in my head when I see people relying on AI. No, Ahmed, you're right, dude. I get it. I'm trying to think of a baddest way to put this. I really like it, AI as a tool. It's a really good tool for referencing. I think of it, and maybe this is too new school, I guess, or too much of a newer thinking. I think of AI as the new Stack Overflow. Does that make sense? Like, that's how I treat it. It's like, hey, I need examples of this code. Give me something. And it's very much like going to Stack Overflow or GitHub and doing a search and then finding some examples and go, oh, okay, well, this might work. It's just there's no upvotes to go off of. So it's probably not quite as good as Stack Overflow was back in the day, although it's much more accessible and much easier to use. So there's some give and take there. Linux Mint. I believe Mint's still using Xorg, is it not? So what you could do is just make a script. I can't really show you here, but you can use something called arandar. And then what you can do is you set like your resolution and everything. And then once you're done, you save this out as like a script, like I already have them in screen layout. And then whenever you want to do the swaps, you can just trigger that to show you that. You can see like my 1080p script. So you have the xrandar command to the output, the mode, the position, rotation, and then it goes to the next output on my graphics card, which is the display port 0, display port 1, display port 2, display port 3. I have 6 display ports apparently on this one. I think that was back when I had 2 graphics cards in the system. because my current card does not have that many. Anyways, but it makes all these settings for you just using a randar. And then whenever you want to use it, you would just go 1080p, enter, and then it just set everything for you. And then let's say you're doing cloning and they're just stacked on top of each other. Then you just pull up the clone version of that, which, what's cat clone? I have clone. So for clone, you can see it's doing the same thing, but it's also utilizing display port 2 in the same position as HDMI 0. And that way it clones exactly what I'm doing on my screen to that other output. So it's really easy to monitor swap or readjust all the monitors on the fly using Xorg. But it gets even better with Wayland using Hyperland, because Hyperland, you can do essentially the same thing, which is really cool. Let's go to Hyperland. Monitor. So right here, I don't have anything. On my laptop, I have something, though. And on the laptop, I specify all the monitor points, so you can go either this with the monitor identifications. So this is using, instead of XRandar, we're using WLRandar. And this can show you that, but even more so, you can actually specify models, makes, serial numbers, and all kinds of stuff. So then when you connect certain screens up, it'll automatically adjust everything to where it should be. It works pretty well too. So how Wayland and Hyperland does it, I kind of prefer. But if you want to go old school and you're using Xorg, you can also do it through like XRandar scripts like I showed. And you can set those scripts up automatically using ARandar. So both are very good. Great examples of it. ARandar. Oh, that's true. AI can't be shamed for being wrong or lying. Stack Overflow, you got downvoted for literally anything. That's true. Not even using proper language, you get downvoted. That's true. So maybe peak programming was Stack Overflow, and we're just gonna go downhill from here. Maybe. I'd be curious to see. I don't even know what Nuri is. What is that? Do I want to know? National Investor Real. A scrollable. Oh, Wayland Compositor. So it scrolls to the right. Why? No. No. Just no. No. No, no. We're not doing that. That's dumb. Jurassic Park time. You were so obsessed whether or not you should, you never actually took a step back and said, should I do this? And the answer is absolutely not. A scrolling manager, awful. That's why we have workspaces. Oh, I've run out of room here and I don't want to split my screen. Whatever shall I do? Wouldn't it be nice if it just scrolled infinitely to the right and I don't know where the hell windows are? Or is it better just to have a new workspace? Seriously, what are we doing? Has an insanely good workspace overview system. I don't care. When you're fundamentally trying to scroll to the right of your screen and you're losing windows to the left, I'm just like, what? Why? Just make a new workspace. Okay. Are you guys watching? Are you guys on Nuri? Are you guys just quoting Brody's video about it, or have you actually used this? Oh, you can go up and down too. And you're liking it. It's good? Are you sure? Are you really sure? Scrolling does imply mouse movement. I don't know. My initial reaction to the scrolling to the right is... that seems wrong. That seems like something a Mac user would come up with. It seems like blasphemy to me, you know? What are we gonna do? Make some liquid glass? Oh god, you know some Linux user's gonna do it. Like, look, things are see-through now. Get another $1,000, please. I need to reload my Mac, my old Mac Mini. Update it, man. It's been so long. Could be, Ahmed. You know, I'm not always right. What is the biggest... okay, let's do a quick poll here. What is the biggest hot take I've ever had that I was completely wrong on? I'm thinking of one in my head, and let's see if chat comes up with something better. But I had a hot take that was absolutely 1,000% wrong, and I admit my fault. I couldn't have been more wrong, and I still use this today. So, extremely wrong. Out of all the last 7 years, Ex Libre, no, probably not. I'm probably right on Ex Libre, but I hope I'm wrong. I always like seeing new GitHub projects for sure. What is that? GitHub production user assets.com, AWS news, sig headers. What? Okay, I gotta click it. Where does it take me? Oh, okay, you're just showing. I'm not wrong on this. This is awful. That is... God. Get it off the screen. I can't even look. Ah! Gross. Ooh. Ooh. Gross. Nasty. No. Too much. No. Ah. Oh. Give me a heart attack. God bless. Why you do that to me? No. That... I like my big screen, big window, numbers at the top, special workstations. This, great. Movement, big screen, scrolling everywhere. Ah! All right, you're never going to get it on the hot take, that or you're just afraid of getting banned because you disagreed on something. I don't know. The worst take I've ever had that I can remember is this one. The Steam Deck will fail. That is the worst take I think I've had. I literally said that before the Steam Deck happened, and I was referring to how bad the Steam machines were, and I was like, there's just no way this works. Steam can't do this. Steam's going to fail. The Steam Deck's going to come out and flop so hard, just like the Steam Decks did. That was my take. I made a video about it that you can't watch because I got rid of the video. And, well, I think, did I? Did I get rid of the video? Did I? Nope. Let's go to our other channel. Chris Titus Technical. I didn't get rid of the video. I still have the evidence online.
The Steam Deck, an amazing piece of hardware coming out towards the end of this
Oh, this is unlisted though.
year, but it's gonna fail in certain spots that I guess nobody even sees, or maybe they just don't want to say anything.
Look at this idiot. Look at
It
him.
almost kind of reminds me when I was like, hey, Bitcoin's gonna crash, and everybody kind of came out with their pitchforks, and then it crashed. And
Bitcoin came back. Man, this guy is just full of bad ideas. Good night, this aged like milk.
everyone
Let's keep
just kind of
watching.
was like, oh, I guess he was right. Let's just pretend that never happened. But with the Steam Deck, I see a whole bunch of potential, and I want to go over the good things first, because there are some just amazing things this device is going to do that has never been done before, but it's still going to fail in the biggest area, and that is
Will it?
most people will be wiping out Linux on it and installing Windows. I'll tell you why. So
It's
first off,
worse than I
it is
thought.
an amazing price point for this piece of hardware, starting at $400. I actually went ahead, got mine reserved right here. I just got the mid-grade
Still have it,
model
still
because
use
that's
it every
the
day.
quickest I could have gotten it for about $530 for this type of hardware, which is great. Looking at the hardware itself and the feature set, I
Man.
love the layout. I love the touchpads. I like the grip buttons on the back. Everyone's talked about that, how good this is.
It's a little heavy.
And
I will
even
say
watched
that.
some
I still say that.
IGN Insider stuff where they said, well, this might be clunky because it's a weird layout. But after they actually had their hands on, they said actually it was very comfortable. So I'm very looking forward to the layout, the screen, and the hardware, which we'll get into the hardware here. But you can see it's fluid. It is really, really nice. Going through, so the micro SD portion, I don't recommend ever playing games on the micro SD. I think the maximum throughput you
Still
can run
agree with
is
that.
about 90 megabytes per second. So I'm curious to see how they're gonna promote that, because gaming on a SD.
So I actually ripped out the internal card. Like if you buy the base model, like I didn't know you could do this, but the base model, yeah, it was an NVMe, just a low profile NVMe. You could replace it, and I think I got like a 2 terabyte now, or maybe it's 1 terabyte, whatever the max is. And it was actually a really easy upgrade. You popped off the back cover, really easy to do. Highly recommend just buying the base model, then just buying your own SSD.
card is just not a good experience. Maybe retro gaming's okay.
Did you actually think Valve was that stupid? Yes. Yes, I did. I thought Valve was that stupid mainly because if you remember, the Steam machines was a giant flop. They went hard on the Steam machines, and man, was it awful. It was all done in Debian. They didn't, I mean, half the crap didn't work. It was just a really bad experience. It was bad. And Steam controller I enjoyed. I still love the Steam controller.
Or
If
maybe
they didn't get
older
sued to
games would be
oblivion, we'd
alright.
probably still be able to buy
Any
one.
kind of modern AAA title on an SD card will be terrible.
I think they had to
one
pay.
criticism I have, but that's
Well, who do
really
they have to
nothing
pay?
compared to what I think's really going to sink it. Coming
Scuff.
back through down
The
here,
Scuff controllers, they had a
I'll
patent
probably
for
be
back
using
paddles.
the dock, and I don't even know if they show it
And
yet, but the
Steam ended
dock
up having
looks
to, or
amazing.
Valve had to pay
Being
them
able to
just a
use this
lion's sum.
computer and a gaming
So,
system on the go.
Scuff
I think it's gonna be a
patent
huge
trolled
boon
Valve.
for so many.
And that's why the Steam
And,
controllers no
here it
longer
is.
exist.
Spread the fields, the internals, everything just looks good on this respect. From the hardware perspective, I said it was great hardware. Why I said that was Zen 2 is kind of old, right? 2019. However, the APU they're putting with this is something really, really interesting. You could see most of the 3000 series came out in 2019, and the APU series, the 4000 series, came out this past year, kind of. It was in such limited stock. I don't think very many people got to mess with these APUs, but it doesn't matter because these APUs aren't even really what Steam's getting. They're getting RDNA 2 on the graphics, which, if you look, RDNA 2
Yeah, it's right there at
series,
least.
coupled that with the Zen 2 architecture, and
And one thing too on that, like a lot of people think of like RDNA 3 would be a big jump forward, and Valve was like, "Nah, we're not doing a Steam Deck 2." Because honestly, RDNA 3 was not very much, it wasn't very impressive. Yes, it was another number, but it really didn't do jack. Most of the performance was pretty negligible. I think like 10-15%. It wasn't like a massive uplift from RDNA 2. Like, but the jump from RDNA 1 to RDNA 2 right here, especially with what Steam did, was a huge upgrade from an APU perspective, which I think we're really on the cusp of seeing another big upgrade on APUs. And a lot of people always ask me about graphics cards. Frankly, I don't know jack about graphics cards. I gotta tell you, I do love APUs though. I think that's the future. I think AMD GPUs and NVIDIA GPUs, screw them. I think APUs are really where most of the future gaming is going to be, where this whole grabbing a new graphics card and paying $1,000+ for, I think that's going to be a thing of the past sometime in the future, if publishers ever figure out how to code good games again.
And you have a magical thing, because I think, and don't quote me on this, but what I think they're doing with this hardware setup is they will be playing to smart access memory, which is something new with the RDNA 2 architecture. And I think they're going to backdate this to where you get a lot more performance. Now, don't quote me on that, but it looks that way from them putting these architecture changes in and shifting it, and having Steam with all of this can make for an amazing gaming experience. Yeah. But at the very beginning there, I did say most people will be playing on Windows. And why is that? Talking to
why,
Steam
Chris?
and a lot of the press releases going through, they did say Easy Anti-Cheat will be available on Linux, and that will open up a whole bunch of game libraries. And from the game libraries, don't pay attention to the top 10 here, because all these are Easy Anti-Cheat games. Destiny 2 actually technically works on Linux. It's just basically locked down in the Stadia environment. But all these others are just Easy Anti-Cheat games.
Yeah, I think this is probably one of the biggest misunderstandings people have. This actually didn't change, and I was right here, but the big thing is, all these games, like Apex Legends, did work on Linux for several years because they just enabled the Linux port of the Easy Anti-Cheat. Destiny 2 did work on Linux in the Stadia environment back when Google had Stadia. Remember when they had to refund everybody because they shut down the whole project after people paid hundreds of dollars for the equipment and all the games? That was pretty funny. But, yeah. The whole big thing here is publishers just aren't supporting Linux. It's nothing Steam can do. Nothing Valve can do to fix this. Nothing Linux can do. There's nothing in the community that says we have problems with Easy Anti-Cheat. The people that have problems with Easy Anti-Cheat and Linux are the publishers. Straight up. The publishers just don't want to support Linux. That's the problem we have today. Nothing to do with the technology.
Games, there's no actual reason for them not to play on Linux other than that one fact. So that actually would solve most of it. Also, these numbers have ticked up, and they said they want them at about 100% by the time the Steam Deck launches, which is really interesting because some of these things in the red will not get solved by that. Spoiler.
Let's see. Where are we now? Chris in the past to the Chris in the future here. How far off are we on the deck verified, or do we have it? So, top 10, 10% verified, 40% playable, 20% unsupported. Okay. Top 100. Dang. Well, that looks about the same, actually. 60% playable. Top 100 is 78% playable. Top 1,000, 76. Numbers are the exact same as they were 4 years ago. Huh? Switch to metals. All right, switch to metals. I was about to say, that seems wrong. Where's the metals? How to switch to metals? Did they change that? New dashboard page. Okay. So let's go rating system. Metals. Here we go. Okay, top 10. We're going to pick silver and above, right? 70%. Top 100, 86%. Okay, so that is better. Top 1,000, 88%. Okay, good. Thank you, Hikari. He's like, I'm looking at the wrong stats. So, oh, that's gold plus plus. Well, let's look at that again. So gold plus plus is this right here. So that's 80% for the top 1,000 and 78 for the top 100. Where this was 78 for the top 100 and 80% for the top 1,000. A little better, but not as much as you think. Yeah. This is the real crime. Only 3% are playable on Chromebooks. Oh, man. That's funny. All right, well.
They're not going to hit 100%. And I know this because there's certain things that are out of their control that nobody's talking about. And what I'm saying here is Uplay. Uplay is a terrible platform, but they have all the Assassin's Creed series on it. People love Assassin's Creed. And if we put Assassin's Creed in Proton TV, we can scroll down.
Uplay.
And look.
That finally went away, didn't it? Yeah. Okay, Ubisoft, Uplay. Okay, it went. Now it's Ubisoft Connect, and now we got. Yeah, take it easy, Kari. Thanks for dropping in. Oh man. Well, anyways, this is the hottest take I ever had. Honestly, not that bad. I thought it was worse. I thought I crapped on the Steam Deck a little bit more than I really did. So yeah. All right then. Who knew? Wow. Well, all right, guys. I'm going to shut her down for the day. I think we got some stuff done. Got some chapters updated. Got a few more things happening on the behind the scenes. And Link's book's coming along. 1,000 more words I'm going to knock out later tonight, probably. Be working on a couple videos coming up. The 2 videos I want to do. One, I'm going to start adding really technical videos to Titus Technical, the stuff that just won't work on the main channel. And then I'll just have Titus Tech for this. I deleted like the gaming channel. I had a fitness channel. I had some other crap in there. I just purged all of it. So that's good. But I think that the big videos that I really wanted to do coming up, probably main channel, debloated versus stock, gaming PC only. This is actually, there was a Windows gaming project I came across, and basically what you do is you have like a micro-win setup, and then you just install this open source project, and it basically overtakes the login screen and everything, so you never even see the Windows desktop. So if you only wanted to use like a micro PC or something for a home theater PC, and you wanted to run Windows for like anti-cheat games or whatever it is that Linux won't play, it's a good actual alternative. So I wanted to do that on the main channel as well. And then from like the technical channel, I wanted to do abusing app images, using app image extract to extract the binaries and create and push those onto like old stable versions. Like a good example of this is like an old version of Debian, but you want like the newer version of NeoVim. NeoVim doesn't have that many dependencies, and you can actually just do an app image extract from the latest version of NeoVim, push the binary and a few libraries over, and you're good to go with the new version of NeoVim. Doesn't work on everything, but it's a really kind of interesting video I think that'll make on the technical channel. And then probably URLs, which we showed the URL shortening. Probably do like a setup with like a lamp stack and stuff and put that on the technical channel too. So I kind of wanted to do some more technical videos, but I feel like the main channel, Oh, shoot, I don't know. I mean, it's kind of back and forth, but yeah, I think that's my thought process is like the main channel needs to speak to a broader audience, and some of these more niche things probably need to just get tossed on somewhere. I want them somewhere so you can refer to them for a video, but I just don't think it'd have a big impact or many people care about. So that's it. Video on the Asus Xbox Ally X. Oh man, I need to get me one of those. I would love to tinker around and kind of hack around on it for sure. Yeah, Valve did a great job. Don't take any of this wrong. I was when I was talking about Valve. I love them. I look forward to the future. The only thing I worry about with Valve is what happens when Gabe dies. Not in the best health. What happens to your Steam library of 100, 200,000 games, whatever it is you have? You don't really own those games. Valve does. What happens when a greedy corporation takes over and you no longer have a privatized company? Food for thought. Sorry to leave on such a depressing note, but what happens when Valve turns evil? It's not an if, it's a win. And with that, hope you have a good time tonight sleeping. Try not to think about that. And maybe start buying a few games on GOG. That's just where I'm going to leave you guys. All right, drop